B squared.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the A's and B's of K-pop.
Yeah.
Because we're way into Korean stuff.
Yeah, and don't judge me, but I've had a lot of soju.
Right. I've had none.
Because I live here, so
right.
I don't have to drive.
I have to drive. So, okay, we're not telling you where we are, although we are middle-aged ladies in Middle America. Are we? Middle America?
I don't think so.
But if you look out the window and get some clues, then you can figure out where we're from. But don't, because we don't need that kind of attention.
I only
in our
have the
lives.
windows, the blinds up because of the lighting.
We don't need that kind of attention in our lives. Okay, this time we're going to talk about it. It's a little sad for me.
It's
We're going to talk about
everyone.
The Korean military. So Korea has a military.
Today, J-Hope went in, right?
Not today.
Whoa.
I mean, today is relative because there are lots of different, like the same day in Korea is not the same day here. Because we're off.
That's true.
We're on different parts of
Hey,
the
can I
continent.
try the plum?
Oh, it's good. You're going to love it.
Okay, let me read this one.
So, okay.
You do it. Go. Oh, where's the funnel?
Yeah.
Shashi.
Okay.
Let me try it.
You can't pour your own because it's a pouring for friends culture.
I'm just going to try the...
You're supposed to hit on your elbow, but
Shut
that was
it.
too hard.
There,
Nice.
look at that.
Look at that.
And then I do that.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
so hard.
But it doesn't hurt me. It hurts
You need to pour for your seniors. Senior.
All right, well, I'm a senior.
Sunbae. That means senior. Sunbae. Okay,
Sunbae.
friends.
Sunbae Nim.
So, Korea has a military, which they've had for a long time.
Yeah.
And Korea has a history of, you know, a lot of, like, invasions and colonization and stuff like that. So, Korea is serious about defending themselves. They currently have not declared peace.
Not to derail
North Korea.
this very important conversation, but plum is really good.
Plum is good. Can I have a little drink? Will you pour some
Of
for me?
course I will.
Thank you.
And your special sauce.
Look at this. Look at this cup. Dope old people.
Because Namjoon,
Namjoon.
it's rude to
RM.
say
Rapmon.
his real name if you don't know him, which we don't know him.
Oh my gosh, plum is so
Have
good.
you had it before?
Yes. It's very good.
I never have. My reaction was genuine.
No,
Yours was
mine was too.
fake.
Look.
That's the back.
You're right. Look at the picture of the plum.
Oh.
It's very good.
There's a picture of a plum on the front.
Okay.
It's really, 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 really good.
So back to the serious nature.
What was I saying about Namjoon? Oh, dope,
Dope
old
old
people.
people.
So he had the quote that said, dope old people in your 30s and 40s.
You know so much. I like you so much. And that's us. dope
Doesn't
old
include me, includes you, but 30s
Wow.
and 40s.
people. I'm still young.
Maybe when he said it, I was in my 40s. I was, but still.
Yeah, I was too. Okay,
to me
friends.
now, dope old people is like 80s or 90s.
Oh.
Those are dope old people.
Yikes.
What's a dope old person to you?
Somebody has to dress up for this like fundraiser gala, and the dress code is 80s prom, and I'm like, that is going like too far back because none of us went to the prom in the 80s. None of us.
Wow.
That's too
If
far
you
back.
need help, just let me know.
You have a taffeta number in there. Somebody needs to dress up in.
I have personal knowledge of what that might
Right.
be.
Okay, 80s.
So-
I mean, I've watched movies, but I'm a 90s baby.
Shut up.
The 80s was a very long time ago. It was Barney.
Cállate la boca.
Okay, that means stop talking. Close your mouth.
That's right.
In Spanish because we are multilingual. Okay, let's get back to the serious nature
Yeah,
of
serious nature of military.
Korea's safety and security. So, Korea they have all Korean males are conscripted for military duty.
I'm gonna look
So,
some stuff up.
There
right.
are a lot of ways that you can serve. When you're Korean, you have to serve between the ages of 18 and 30. There are lots of ways you can serve. You can serve in like the civil service, so they'll have like a veterans group that you can work for. You can do like Army. You could do, I think they have a Navy. You can do police officer, firefighter, that kind of stuff. My friend, her husband, when he was in the military, his job was to play the piano for the church, for churches.
Huh?
That was one of his jobs. I mean,
One
one
of
of his
them?
jobs was every Sunday he played the piano at church. They do lots of kinds of different things, but all Koreans are expected to serve. If you win an Olympic gold medal, or if you're a national champion of something, then you can get kind of a waiver, but you still have to serve. You still have to do so many hours of community service.
Okay, so as you were talking, and I was sort of listening, I was listening in one ear, but the other ear was like, well, focused on this.
Yeah.
Fewer than 30 countries still have conscription, but North Korea has the longest. And
18 months.
No, South Korea has 18 months.
Oh, North Korea.
North Korea.
Oh,
Their
North Korea.
and I happen to already know this.
How long?
Their
is it?
conscription is 10 years. And you go in at 17,
Oh my god.
and you are expected to serve for 10 years. And you barely get fed. I used to think in my naivety way back when, probably the 80s, when I was really young, that they were, I mean, the thing that we heard a lot back then as kids was that North Korea was this, like, because they've had nuclear weapons forever, right? But that they were the most precise and well-trained army units. And then you see their shows, and now that their parades, and now that I know more, I'm like, they are totally show. Those marches, right? And that is all propaganda, and they barely get fed. So a lot of the guys try to go to the Navy because they get fed better. That's what drives them. Like, if I have to do this, I want to be in the Navy because we'll get better food.
So that's North Korea. I apologize for hearing North Korea and thinking South Korea because I only think about South Korea.
That's true.
Pretty much all.
Well, pretty much we just say Korea and we all know South. Well, those of us in K-pop land know South Korea. But yeah, North Korea is 10 flippin' years of your life.
South Korea is 18 months.
It used to be 3 years.
Used to be longer, right?
Not in that long, not far past.
And there are lots of, like I said, there are lots of different ways you can do it. You can get a pass.
Look at you staying on topic.
I know.
God, you're good. You're good.
So, we have an agenda.
We do not.
I'm the sergeant at arms, I think.
We do not have an agenda, and if anybody's going to be a sergeant, it would not be you. I like the plum. You should give me a little bit more.
Good. Okay.
I can pour it. I don't really care, but
okay,
don't judge me. When I'm home alone, I just drink out of the bottle.
So if you're like opera singer or like a Korean folk music singer, you can get a pass where you don't have to be active military duty, but you still have to do, service hours.
So I think one thing that's important is that this is part of their culture, and for U.S. fans, I remember before Jin went in, you made the comment like, I think they won't make them go, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna make them go.
There was a lot of talk about not making them go because some people do get passes, and like BTS is huge. Like,
okay, they are huge, and they are huge for the economy.
And also, like, just soft power.
But here's the thing, why I said, no, they're going to go. Because serving in the military is well, it's a conscription, but it's also expected. And if they got allowed to not serve, the backlash in that country would be insane.
Right.
And the way, I mean, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like those fans can be crazy. Like, they can attack you and attack you and attack you, right? So there's no way they wouldn't serve. Well, and I will go back to full circle to Super Junior.
Let's hear Super Junior.
So Ituk had some really hard times when he was in the military. His father actually did a murder-suicide. Like, he was taking care of his parents, and he killed them, and then he killed himself. And he was arguably not a good human being for a lot of other reasons that I've heard about how he treated, what kind of a father he was. But, like, so, and just being in the military can be hard in general. And so Ituk had made some statement at some point that I saw in an interview and heard, was that he said, somebody told him, like, if you want to be an idol, he qualified to get out early for mental health.
Oh, right.
And somebody told him, like, if you want to be an idol, you have to stay. You can't leave. Right?
They said that's one of the reasons why Tableau from Epic High was targeted, because he didn't serve in the military because he's a Canadian citizen.
Oh, he's from Canada? I did not know that.
Well, he was born in Korea, Korean heritage, but he lived in Canada long enough that he got Canadian.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's the thing when you're from like Canada
Well,
or
I also
America,
think
like you can be anything because we're a freaking melting pot, which is awesome.
It seems like they also they always planned on being in the military. They didn't grow up as idols. They grew up as Korean kids.
You plan on being in the military, but so I feel like you can't get out. You if you want to be an idol, you really have to So he had to stick it out. Taemin of SHINee just got out, but he had some real struggles there for a while, and towards the beginning of his service, where some articles came out that he was struggling mentally, and I was like, no, if he's gonna have to stick it out if he wants to have a career when he gets out, and he did. And personally, when I heard he was getting out, I was like, God, that 18 months went really fast. Well, for me, didn't go fast for him, but 18 months when you're young is like a lifetime.
Tell us about the effect that military service had on Super Junior.
They were out as a whole band for 10 flipping years. 10 years. This is one thing I also don't understand, is why they don't all just decide to go in at once. Okay,
so the Rose did. The three guys who had to go in.
Yeah, and Flying, which is another one of the bands I like, they had, one guy had already served by the time he joined. Another guy, I don't know if he's Korean American or he's not Korean nationality, so he doesn't have to serve. And then the third guy did, the fourth guy was ready to join, and the MACNA accelerated. So the fourth and fifth guy joined it. The three joined pretty much at the same time, like the Rose, to shorten their hiatus.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they don't all flip and do that. But then I read an article about Super Junior because I was like, God, losing 10 years out of your career is enormous.
Yeah.
And the article said, I feel like I'm going to lose my train of thought. This plum soju is really good. That
doesn't make you smarter.
I know, it makes you stupider. So, what was I saying?
That 10 years, it's a long time out of a career.
Yeah,
and
it is. There's something in there about that. I don't know.
Why don't they all go at the same time?
I remember now. Okay, hold on.
Okay, no, go. Yeah.
Okay, so the theory was that the company likes you to go at staggered times because you can keep making them money. And then the other thought is that you keep the name active, right?
Right.
But I feel like, well, if you're BTS, your name is going to be active for 18 months regardless, and then you'd have less of a hiatus. But ultimately, even though I wonder, why the hell do they don't all just go at once? I feel like it's their life, it's their decision, and they should make what decision works best for them. So at some point, you just have to give it up to them and be like,
yeah.
Here you go.
Are you trying to be a managing anti?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to be like the Halmuni that goes, do what works for you, babies, because you got your life to live, and only you can live it. Nobody can live it for you.
I feel like BTS they're proud of being Korean. They're not trying to not be Korean. They are trying to be Korean. And serving the military is part of that. Yeah. So they were coming up against the where you couldn't delay it anymore because you have to go by the time you're 30. Mm-hmm. And Kim Sok-jin, Jin is his street name.
Wouldn't you say Sok-jin?
I say it Sok. We say things differently, but you know what I mean. Okay, so he was coming up against it. He was almost 30. So he enlisted in the military, he went active army in the same month that he turned 30.
Not their army, real army.
Yeah, not, and it's confusing because there is an army fandom, but he's in Korean
That's
army.
Not confusing to anybody. Even
I know,
me,
but
even though I've had
Korean army is what he went in, and he was on the front lines, which means close to the demilitarized zone.
He is.
Yeah. And but now he's been in for 4 months, and he is an assistant drill sergeant, drill assistant trainer, Oh. So he's still at the base where he first had to sign up to go. The months are going by okay. He's gained 7 kilograms.
Good for him.
Oh my gosh.
These guys are too
they grow up. They're more mature. get bigger.
Came out, and he looks so good.
So
and there was so much baloney about how I didn't even recognize him. He's put on so much weight. I'm like, dude, he looks amazing. And now he's gonna have all this pressure to like not eat, and it sucks.
They have a lot of adventures. My Korean friend said that this is very good for them because they'll have lots of interesting stories, and they will have missed me mightily. So we'll have more things to sing about. I'm like, you're right. They have missed me mightily. So on the day, there's sometimes when an idol goes in, because lots of idols have served. Like idols pretty much have to serve, right? So when they go in, a lot of times there'll be a lot of fans there, and journalists and stuff like that. And that was a big thing. But they came out when Jin was gonna enlist and said, the day of enlistment we don't have any public. There's no public schedule, so don't come because this is just for families. But all the other members of BTS came. They took pictures because they shaved their head right before. Family. They took pictures of them rubbing the heads, rubbing his head.
And today Hoseok went in. And do you say Hoseok?
I say J-Hope because I don't actually know him.
Oh, that's right.
J-Hope. So he enlisted because he just had his solo release. And
but
he
do you say Hoseok?
Hoseok is what I'd say. Hoseok. J-Hope. Hobie. I actually call him Hobie more often. J-Hope. Hobie, Hoseok. Seokjin is the other guy. And so they're like together, they're the super soakers. Two Seok is what they're called sometimes. I don't say it right, but you know what I'm talking about. So J-Hope shaved his head. Yeah, everybody came. Jin even got to come. He took a day off because they get days off.
I saw that.
He took a day off and came, and so he was there in his military gear, his camouflage. Yep. So and BTS they create a lot of content. The company does, right? So they do this thing called the BTS bomb, Bangtan bomb, where they shoot just a little video, short video. So they shot when J-Hope was going in, everybody rubbing his head, saying goodbye, love you, good luck, all this kind of stuff. But Jin did not appear in that video. He appeared in the group photos, but not in the video, because when you're in the military, if you make money as a celebrity, you have to pay it to the military. So he did not appear in the video. His voice is not in the video. His face isn't in the video, but like everyone reacting to him is. And he's in the group photo. It's cool. Very cute. And J-Hope said that Jin is the oldest, so he's Hyung. The younger men call older men Hyung, like Big Brother. So Hyung did it first, and J-Hope said that he was like, what do I bring? What do I not bring? Because if you bring the wrong stuff, you just have to send it back home. Jin told him to bring a book because he's like, seriously, you stare at the sky for like 11 hours a day in training. So he's like, bring a book. It's all very sweet, and it's I think stressful for international army because they're in a war, because Kim Jong-un is right there with shooting ballistic missiles, and it is scary, and they are in a real military, like with a real that's the thing, country next to them that they're at war with.
The U.S. obviously doesn't have a conscription, and we've had a draft in Vietnam, but we had a draft for World War I and World War II. But honestly, if we had a hostile neighbor, especially one with a nuclear weapon, we would have a conscription. You better believe it.
Yeah.
There
are 52 million Koreans, and they get a lot of military support from the U.S. The U.S. has bases there, and
we do, but they still are the front line.
That's right.
And I'll tell you though, if we had a hostile neighbor with a nuclear weapon, we would have a conscription, no doubt about it.
Well, I think
There's
about
no other way that we would roll with that.
RM's interview where he says Koreans work hard. Like, life is hard for Koreans, but look what we've done. Look what we've come through. We've been colonized. We've been attacked. We've been murdered.
Life is hard for every country in different ways.
I like that BTS is Korean. I like that they're in the Korean military. I think they're valuable. That's what I hear from other people who've been in the military, that older members can be really valuable because they have an emotional maturity. J-Hope has a really sunny personality, and morale is a big deal for every military or group.
I mean, I feel like when I think about Taemin, like he clearly has some, maybe struggles with some mental health issues here and there, and that carried through.
How do you
right?
tell the difference between that and fan service? Maybe that's a rumor. Maybe it's not true. I'm
Your
asking.
fan service is that you have depression?
I don't know.
That's bad fan service.
How's that? Like, we don't know if that's
a
any
crappy
realer
fan service.
We don't really know if that's any realer than J-Hope has a sunny personality.
That is so true, because Jin has said, like, he acts a certain way in front of his fans because he thinks, because he's under the impression, and this has been communicated to him, that if he
They like him
is
to go
sad,
yeah.
then they're worried about him, and he doesn't want him to worry about him. But no, well, the reports that I read, which may be false. The thing is, I don't know how to really ascertain the veracity of any particular news source in Korea because that's not my culture, and I haven't really delved into that. I could, and I maybe someday will, but obviously in the U.S. and UK, and that I know which news sources I feel are actually who are actually going on journalistic principles, and the ones that are clearly not. So I think that what I read was that he's already on medications, and he already kind of has some of those struggles. And that just really exacerbated it. But I feel like out of BTS, I mean, I won't say it out loud, but I feel like I know who will probably struggle. And Jin's not one of them.
Yeah,
Hope's not one of them.
They're professionals, they're adults, they're emotionally mature. But they've
this,
also been rich people for a long time.
This is but going into the military is super hard.
Right.
And I think the one thing about BTS is that, yes, they are very rich, and they've obviously the most successful K-pop idols out there, that they're just really normal, and they're really humble. And
there are a lot of rich Koreans who serve in the military, too.
Yeah. I mean, Siwon in Super Junior, his father, owns...
Chaebol.
Huh?
It's like a family-owned dynasty company. It's called it.
It's like a department store?
Yeah, okay. That's not the name of it. Like Samsung is it. All those guys in K-dramas, they're like...
Okay, so Siwon is really rich.
Okay.
And he always has been.
Yeah.
He is literally one of the richest K-pop idols because of his family money. But he served in the military.
Right, they do.
They don't... That's the thing is why BTS isn't... And I think this is where their humility comes in, is they wouldn't say, I'm too big to serve in the military. They're like, no, this is what we are expected to do, and we're doing this because this is an honor for us.
So I'm very proud of them. I'm also, you miss them, because Jin's been in for 4 months, and he's recorded a video for every month where he says, oh, it's February now, you're celebrating blah, 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 your weather is blah, blah,
Think of how great it is now. They only do 18 months, and they get to keep their phones. That's not... Yeah, they do. That's fairly new.
To keep their phones. They get to leave. They have leaves. They can go on vacation. They can ask for days off. But I don't think it's easy. But and also... Yeah,
well, Chen of EXO got his wife pregnant and had a baby while he was in the military. So they get some leave.
That happens. Yeah. You can get married before you join the military. You can have kids before.
Sure.
Yeah. All that stuff.
I think the thing is, I don't know that... I personally, as an American... don't feel like military conscription is a bad thing. I totally see why they're doing it. If we were in that geographic position, we would be doing the exact same thing. And so, I feel like this is just a part of their journey in life. And it's come later. I just don't know why they don't all go at once. But again, it's their life and it's their journey, and they should take it.
But I think they're going to go shortly, because BTS has... announced that they're going to reconvene in 2025.
I feel like that's not going to be possible.
So that's only a year and a half away. Well, I mean, they're like, we're not going to put an album
I feel like maybe it'll be a Christmas reunion in 2025. But regardless of all those things, it is just respect their journey. But I know there are some U.S. BTS fans, ARMY, that are like, I can't believe I had to go. This is so unfair. And I'm like, grow up. Maybe it's because I'm older, and I'm just like...
Oh, but we just love them.
And I know other people, in Mexico, that had to serve. They have a conscription, and they now live here, and They were like, yeah, that's what you have to do. And it just is what it is.
Finland has a conscription.
Who?
Finland? Israel?
Finland. Israel, I get.
Finland is next door to Ukraine right now. Yeah, they do. But theirs is pretty short. You can look it up. It's pretty short. It's like I think less than a year.
I have the power of Google at my fingertips.
Look it up and let us know. Okay, what's your word? Oh, my word. I'm going to say my word. Chingu. It means friend. And like one time, Sugar. How long is it?
It's like they get 3 choices.
It's either like half a year or a year.
165, 255, or 347.
Yeah.
Not even a. Wow.
They're in the neighborhood.
Well, good for
Russia.
Finland. Yeah, you know, that is the thing. Your geographic circumstances will dictate some of that stuff.
So
you're Chingu. Okay.
Chingu. And then one time when Sugar saw his friend J-Hope, he yelled, "Chingu-ya!" So now I yell that every time I see my friend. I don't know if that's the correct thing to say, but he said it.
Never said that to me.
Chingu-ya!
That's a little too late.
I haven't said it to Amy. That's true. I'm sorry.
I'll be waiting to hear it.
I really
some
only
other
called
time.
my friend that. Sorry.
Well, now I want to hear it, but not tonight.
Amiga! Amiga, yeah.
It doesn't help.
I can say it in 2
You have
languages.
to do it off the...
3. Friend!
Okay, well, I learned how to say friend in kind of a slang.
What?
Pupa.
I don't know what it is.
Korean slang.
Okay.
Pupa.
Pupa. I don't like saying word I've never heard before.
I don't know that you qualify as that yet until you...
Oh, until I'm also yelling, Chingu-ya!
Mm-hmm. And then I'll say back, Pupa!
And then everyone will be like, is this friendly? I don't know.
Well, it'll be by the tone of my voice.
Yeah.
That's how you...
Oh, that's another thing about... I love that... I like learning the Korean language, but then you also have to learn, like how they say a question.
Jinja?
Like, how
Jinja?
how do they sound mad? You know what I mean?
Jinja. Yeah. How would you do it? Do Jinja mad.
Jinja? Oh,
that's
mad.
Not,
that's not mad.
That's
Jinja! Like that.
That's mad?
But that's an American, you know what I mean? That's like an American way to talk.
Well, I think the inflection of a question mark is fairly universal.
I don't think it is. Because, I mean, you listen to a lot of Korean too.
There is a country in Africa that only communicates in clicks. So it wouldn't happen there.
Can't inflect a click.
No.
I don't know, but I know that's the thing. You have to learn. You can't just learn the words or the alphabet. You have to learn. There's a lot to learn. I love it. Okay.
I get a little overwhelmed with it, but I still work on it. Okay, Pupa.
Okay, Jingu.
Okay, what's your award? Music award.
Oh. What was our category?
You get to decide, but hopefully it's a good one that I know an answer to off the top of my head.
Okay.
Don't make it hard.
Let's say OSTs. So K-dramas always have OSTs, which are original soundtrack. That's what it's called, an OST in English letters. And that's a song that's written for a movie. They also, lots of comic, like online cartoons, they also have OSTs. Sometimes video games have OSTs.
Really?
Yeah. So what's your fave? Jinja. I don't know what I've got a couple. So, My Beloved Summer, I don't know who's in it. I think it's called
My Beloved Summer. Google once again.
So, a song called
Beloved?
Definitely You, My Beloved Summer, yeah. It's Definitely You is a song that Taeyoung and Jin sang together. They're both wonderful. They both have really nice voices, and they sang that song, and it's really sweet. And so they play it in the, the K-drama will have several episodes, like maybe 10 episodes, and they play it during every,
well, I'm going to have to listen to that.
That's very sweet.
I haven't heard
very
that.
Sweet. It's called It's Definitely You.
I'll have to, we'll put a description in there and I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
I may have already heard it, but I just don't know it. So this is a hard one because I don't always pay attention to the song other than I'll be like, that's the dumbest song I've heard. Generally, I don't do that
in a K-drama.
In K-dramas.
Some of the songs are bad. Some of them are good.
Yeah, but generally it's more like in some, I've been watching some Thai stuff and I'm like, oh my God, who picked that song? That is horrible. Oh, so I just did that earlier. I was like, who the hell did this? They should be fired.
She's full of opinions, you guys.
But I feel like always, doesn't even matter if I've drank soju
Right.
or not.
Right.
You should know that.
I know. I'm on it.
I feel like K-dramas are better, just better in general of everything. So, there's one OST that I bought, and it's on my playlist.
Oh.
And I don't know who it's by though, so I should.
What show is it?
So the song is Romantic Devil by Colden. Wow, okay. And it was the show Semantic Error, and it comes up in my playlist, and I sing it.
Very cute.
It's got quite a bit of English in it. Colden, I don't know.
Semantic Error is a cute K-drama.
It's a cute one. It's like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I'm making that up. I don't know. It was a lot.
It's like episodes. they're all like pretty much 10 episodes.
I don't know. Some of them are 6. Some of them are 8. Some of them are 12. They're usually an even number. Let's put it that way. It's an even number, whatever it is. But I'm gonna say that one because that's the only one that I know of off the top of my head. But I actually did purchase that song.
Nice.
I own that song.
Right. She doesn't own a physical copy of it because she doesn't like any physical junk.
That kind of was a bad move.
But she just wants it to be on her iPod.
So I can listen to it wherever I am, whenever I want, and I don't have to stream it because I do a lot of field work where I am not in.
Well, here's the thing. I have been buying all of the solo albums by BTS while they're in Chapter 2, and like I haven't even opened some. But they're on my shelf. I'm supportive. I also buy.
I'm supportive. I buy their albums or songs digitally.
Yeah, I love them. You guys, I love BTS. I love them.
Okay.
Okay, are we done talking about the military? Heart's broken. We think, who do we anticipate is going in next in the military from BTS?
Min Yoongi?
We think it's going to be Jimin. I think it's going to be Jimin.
Do?
Because Jimin just put out his new album and he finished his promotions.
When is Min Yoongi's concerts over?
Oh, his concerts are going until June.
I think it'll be Min Yoongi.
Okay. I think Jimin's going to go sooner. Namjoon was already supposed to have gone, but he picked up another after he finished Indigo in promotions for that. He picked up another project, so he decided he was going to go the same time as J-Hope, but he decided to wait.
Know that.
He has a couple of years, but I mean they do need to get going so they can come back.
I think it's Min Yoongi. You think it's Jimin?
I think it's Jimin.
We shall see. Jimin's cute. Cutie pie.
He's so cute. Oh my gosh. His new album is called Face. His new song is called. He's got a song called Set Me Free Part 2.
Jimin could be my poopa.
And like crazy. He is very likable. They call him the recruiter because everyone instantly likes Jimin. He's got a good personality. He's a huge performer.
Jimin?
He's very good looking.
You could be my poopa because I think you have a really sweet personality.
I think you're good looking. And you have lots of tattoos.
You cannot. Jimin has tattoos?
A ton.
Jimin?
Okay, let me tell you about Jimin's tattoos. We'll go over tattoos
for
in a minute.
you.
No, it says never mind right here. He's got one that says young forever. He's got one behind his ear that says youth. He's got one on his finger that says 7 because they got the 7.
Yeah.
And he's got all the way down his back. He's got the phases of the moon all the way down his spine.
Ouch! That hurts. I have a couple that would hurt like a mother.
That's kind of new. And little point of fact, some fan art. You know, people do a lot of fan art of BTS idols. Everybody.
Yeah.
So somebody drew a painting of Jimin, and he's got a nice body, right? He's short.
He's a kid.
He's really strong, but he's got a really
I could be his Omoni.
physique.
Go ahead.
And he's performed a couple of times with no shirts on, kind of a long time ago. So we've seen his muscles, and somebody painted the phases of the moon on his back in this.
So then he got it?
And Taeyang showed it to Jimin, and Jimin's like, I'm getting it. So then he got it tattooed down his back.
Good for him.
What if that was your
Good for you to express yourself. And I think in Korea, in order to get a tattoo legally, they have to
You have to be a
medical.
doctor.
Yeah.
It has to be at a medical clinic.
So go out and get it somewhere else. But the guy who lives across the street, I just learned, is a tattoo artist down the street. So when I'm gonna get my second one here soon.
This is more evidence.
Third.
This is more evidence of where we are from.
Yeah, right.
Tattoo artist.
Guy across the street, down the street.
Yeah.
I shall go.
I
and
kinda-
say, hey, you! I can't remember we're neighbors. There's a condo thing across the street. So
I kind of. What want a BTS tattoo, but I'm not gonna get one because that is so
Cliche.
gauche.
Does cliche and gauche mean the same thing in this context?
Gauche means like unsophisticated.
I didn't mean like
Oh.
in dictionary. I meant in this context.
No, cliche is no. It doesn't. It's not cliche.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
unsophisticated.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Jimin, you could be my papa, but you cannot be hers because she is superficial.
I could be your Nuna.
And I am
Superficial. I love
Yeah,
him.
you're over there like he's good looking. I'm like he has a great personality. Who is less superficial than
Didn't I
that?
just say everyone likes him and he's a talented singer and dancer?
I
Oh my
think
gosh,
I don't know.
I
Did
love
you say that?
I would talk on the phone with him every single day.
Yeah, I would too. But I'm not over here talking about his body.
Well, he is good looking. Don't
He's
disregard
cute.
that.
He's a cutie
They
pie.
try hard to be try hard to be good looking.
You're a cutie pie. You are a cutie pie.
Gosh. You know they're even cute when they shave their hair off. Okay, this is the longest episode ever.
God, let's wrap it up.
Goodbye. Annyeong.
Annyeong.
Annyeong. 사랑해요.
That's right.